My name is Jeremy Chisholm. I'm a director of PhD Building, based here in Queenstown. We're a supplier of high-performance building products, specifically the building envelope. We import and distribute through the South Island a polystyrene block system called ICF and Viking Windows. These products that I have sourced from around the world are the absolute top of performance in terms of construction in New Zealand. ICF is called a MMC, a modern method of construction, and used widely overseas. And concrete is an incredibly strong force when it's in its liquid form, and you need to have a very strong block to hold together and stay straight, which is what Nudura ICF does. My aspirational goal is actually to influence main building companies in this country to lift their game and educate the public that you can have a warmer house without paying a whole bunch of money and have a house that lasts around for generations. Construction has gone from the 90s, where we had about 7 pages of plans, to 40, 50 pages of plans, which have an incredible level of detail. Mistakes get made, things get missed. And by simplifying the process, it means that the level of detail and of construction documentation can be vastly reduced. Use a number of digital tools, and probably the first one was, of course, was good old Google. It helped me to research how to build in a colder climate like Queenstown when I came here 12 years ago, and eventually I settled on ICF as being the perfect answer. And then through the Google, I found Nudura in Canada, and then flew one of their blocks over. One of our design tools that we work with a lot these days and have customized somewhat for our own product is SketchUp, which is a worldwide, very simple program, design program, 3D program. But using SketchUp, we can model a building that we're going to supply the products into, so that people know exactly where all the blocks have got to go. And from that, we take off a quantity, and if we've been allowed to modify the dimensions of the building to suit the module, we can say that there is no waste on this project. Building consent documentations are so big these days, AutoCAD 3D files, so they're very bulky. So we have to move these around. We use either Dropbox or iCloud or WeTransfer. SharePoint, that's a very good one. Everybody can access the same file at the same time. So we're updating it in real time. We're all working on it from around the world at the same time. I also use GoodNotes, which is a complete replacement for printing. I just get the documents on my iPad, I've got my pencil, I can blow things up, I can mark them up, I can sign documentation. So I actually don't have a printer anymore, which is fantastic because I always used to run out of ink. During the design process, when we're involved in a project as a supplier, we're using a system called Procure, and that manages all of the requests for information that the architects and designers may have. And by using Procure, it means that lodging the RFIs through it, rather than emailing or pick up the phone to discuss directly with the person you want, it means that the whole team is aware of the information that's been asked for. So, and also the whole team is aware of when it's got to be answered. So it cuts out the lost communication side of things that happens when you go off and communicate directly. To go back and not use the whole suite of tools that we have would be just going back to the ark.